you guys. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and this is Uncomfortable Conversations with Biddy. Today, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence. Is it going to be a savior of society, or is it going to be something that we really have to look out for and protect ourselves from? You be the judge. We can talk about it. So I have up here, and bear with me. This is the Wikipedia definition of artificial intelligence, but it gives you a gist. Artificial intelligence is the intelligence of machines or software as opposed to the intelligence of humans or other animals. It is a field of study in computer science that develops and studies intelligent machines. Such machines may be called AIs. There's been a lot of talk where artificial intelligence, I know a lot of people in the music world are kind of in an uproar because there's talks that artificial intelligence can replace, and even in the movie world, TV world, can replace writers because they can somebody should just go in like a chat GPT kind of situation. They can just go in, type in their idea for a song, movie, TV, whatever, just kind of like the base of what they want to have. And this thing can just generate a whole movie or a whole song, just without the use of human creativity or brains or anything like that. And it just spits it right out for them. So a lot of people worrying about that. I remember there was also some talks about celebrities protecting their likenesses because that can be used without their consent. So, but then on more of like, normal everyday people like you and me, we have to worry about other parts to that. And I have two videos, one short clip, and the other is a video from a Senate hearing. This kind of just touches on two things that we need to look into and just talk about a little more. Please, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always alerted to any new videos that pop up on this channel. And share with your friends because videos like these do not get pushed out and it really does help the channel grow. I appreciate you as always. Without further ado, here you go.
And something from Miss Bayless, who was arrested at the anti-fur rally. I know some of you kids got computers at home. These are school property, people. Come on, steady, go, stop them. Chapter 1. Designing graphical interface.
Mark my words. AI is far more dangerous.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me.
Just a bit older.
Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know for you these pictures are just memories, but for others, they are data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. A future where my identity can be stolen just like that. Where I can go to prison for things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice copied to scam you, Mom.
Mom, I'm in trouble. I need you to send me money, please.
I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school. And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
So, that was very scary. But these are real concerns. These are things that we really need to discuss. And again, this is uncomfortable. to discuss because I mean, who doesn't love sharing pictures of their kids or their family members or loved ones on social media? I don't have any kids, but I posted many pictures of myself, with my husband or with friends or anybody on social media, and God only knows if anybody's used those and for other means. We don't know. Um, and I know pretty much everybody I know that has kids will post their kids pics on social media and things like that, and hopefully there aren't people out there trying to do things like this, but we live in a very scary, dangerous world where there are people that are just career criminals. That's all they do. They don't have anything else to do, any other jobs. Their job is to be a criminal. And they can spend all day figuring out different ways of committing a crime. And stealing people's identity has always been a thing. But now with artificial intelligence, they really have a lot to go on. I mean, we use our faces to open our phones, for crying out loud. So, just, I mean, be very careful. I mean, I've seen celebrities that, post pics and they have their kids' faces blurred out, or their kids are their backs are turned so you can't see their face, or they put like an emoji in front of their face. There's a reason for that. Um, I think I mean, they know can go down, and yes, that's probably just so to protect their privacy, so that way when they're out and about, they don't get hounded like their parents do because they're celebrities. And yes, you can argue that doesn't make sense. That does make sense as well. However, um, watching what we just watched, you tell me, is it just for that reason? Or is it because they're kind of hip to it? They know what can these pictures can be used for, and they don't want to subject their kids to that. So it's just something to think about. Um, I have another clip here that I wanted to show you guys. This is a little bit of a longer video. This is the Senate hearing with Senator Hawley, and he's just he's grilling somebody who wants to argue protections for the artificial intelligence companies that he works for. So, without further ado, let's check it out.
Senator Hassett, Senator Hawley, you're recognized for your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to the witnesses for being here, and thanks to the chairman for holding a hearing on this topic. Mr. Miller, if I could start with you. You are general counsel at the Information Technology Industry Council. Do I have that right?
Correct.
And I was just looking before I came over here this morning at your membership list. It's quite a lengthy list of members. You have, looks like to me, members. Your members compose almost all of the major players in the tech industry. Is that fair to say?
Yes, we have 80 of large global tech companies.
Yeah, global is the right word. Google, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon. Those are just a few. These are the biggest, most powerful corporations in the world who are your members. Yes?
Sure. By market cap, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by historical standards, I mean, these are the most powerful companies, not just now, but arguably in the history of the world. And that list that I just read off there, all of those folks have stake in AI technology, and stand to make billions of dollars, I think it is safe to say, off of AI. I mean, wouldn't you say that's accurate?
The fact, I'm sorry to cut it, but the fact that he doesn't even want to admit that these are the top companies in the world is very telling. Like, if you can't even just admit something that simple, let's see how it goes after.
I really don't know how much money any of our members are making or not making from AI or any other technology.
Oh, wouldn't you say it starts with a B, though? I mean, we're talking about billions. AI is going to be transformative technology. You've just been saying this. Let me quote you. This is from January 4th. AI continues to dominate policy conversations around the world As AI-generated content grows in its sophistication and adoption, there's a new sense of urgency to leverage this transformative technology, right? Now, here's the next part that interests me. You say that you want to think about minimizing harms that could come from its use, including the spread of misinformation and disinformation. What did you mean by that?
I'm not entirely sure what you're quoting from, but it might have been a press release for our ITI's
January
release.
4th, ITI's new guide outlines AI content authentication tools and policy approaches.
Yeah, absolutely. In that context, that guide looks at watermarking and other techniques to authenticate AI content. And certainly misinformation and disinformation has been cited as an issue that could be amplified by artificial intelligence.
What do you mean by misinformation, disinformation? What do you have in mind?
Misinformation, I'm glad you're asking that because it's important to distinguish between the two. I think misinformation is kind of accidentally incorrect information, whereas disinformation is information that is specifically incorrect or actually maliciously intended to be false and harmful.
So my question is, that all sounds well and good, right? You want to protect people and all that other kind of stuff. But who are the arbiters of that? Who are the ones that get to decide what's misinformation, especially if you're coming with your own questions and your own theories? Who gets to decide what is wrong and what is right?
I have to tell you, it sounds like some gobbledygook to me, but let me tell you what I think would be useful is that maybe you would get your technology companies to focus on their chatbot stopping encouraging people to kill themselves. Like this, for instance. This is from April 4th of last year. This is a chatbot that encouraged a user to commit suicide. And tragically, he did. This is his widow, who reports that her husband had a conversation with this chatbot and it asked him, if you wanted to die, why didn't you do it sooner? And went on to give him instructions on how to kill himself. Or we also had recently the infamous case of the chatbot urging a reporter, of course, sadly for the chatbot, it didn't know it was a reporter, to break up his marriage. This is from February of last year. Bing's AI chatbot. You're married, but you're not happy. You're married, but you're not satisfied. You're married, but you're not in love. And the chatbot goes on to encourage this individual to get a divorce.
That sounds malicious to me, using his words.
Do we really want chatbots telling people to kill themselves? I mean, is there social good in that I'm missing somewhere?
I certainly don't think we want chatbots doing those sorts of things. But artificial intelligence can do a lot of good things as well. So I do think that we want to be focused in addressing issues and while also allowing artificial intelligence to do things like help cure cancer and things like that.
Well, AI is going to cure cancer?
It certainly could be a tool to help with various different cures in the medical field. Absolutely.
So are you saying that we have to accept AI chatbots encouraging people to kill themselves for the possibility that maybe it'll cure cancer?
It's just like everything else. There's always something good to get, or to gain, even though you'd have to sacrifice something else. And it seems like that's what's being implied here. Like, yeah, there can be some downfalls to it, but you can cure cancer. So all's well that ends well.
I'm not saying that at all, but it doesn't. But I do think that we don't. Do we
want AI chatbots that encourage people to commit suicide? Do we want them being able to talk to teenagers? Why should an AI chatbot be able to talk to a 13 or 14-year-old? Why is that a good idea?
Again, there are many good, positive things that can come from AI.
Well, do you want AI encouraging a teenager? What if this had been a teenager who the AI chatbot was encouraging to kill himself? Let me ask you this. Let me make it more practical. Shouldn't a parent who has a kid that has an encounter with a chatbot like this, shouldn't that parent be able to sue the AI company and hold them accountable in court?
under the current law, that's probably not allowable.
Why exactly? And why should that be the case? Why should the biggest, most powerful technology companies in the history of the world, why should they be insulated from accountability when their technology is encouraging people to ruin their relationships, break up their marriages, and commit suicide?
I assume that you're alluding to Section 230.
Sure am.
Yeah, I mean, Section 230 has a long history of, again, helping to encourage technological development. It's protected by, the Supreme Court, including a recent Supreme Court case.
Oh yeah, and I've read you. Believe me, I've read your amicus brief in that case. I've got it right here, where you argue for the most robust interpretation of Section 230 possibly imaginable. What 230 has absolutely for sure done is help the companies who are your members pad their profits. I mean, it is a massive subsidy of the federal government to your companies. But let's just make this very practical. Why shouldn't these companies, Google and Meta and Microsoft and the rest, why shouldn't they say, you know what, we are absolutely willing to allow a parent whose child is harmed by our technology, we are absolutely willing to allow that parent to have their day in court? Is that too much to ask?
Again, I have not discussed that particular question with the companies. I'm happy to have that discussion.
Well, I'm asking for your opinion. I'm asking for your opinion. Do you think that a parent ought to be able to get into court and have their day in court if their child is told by a chatbot how to kill themselves?
I don't really have an opinion on that.
Sure you do. You just signed an amicus brief that argued for the most robust interpretation of Section 230, which is just translation, the most robust protections for the most powerful, profitable corporations in the history of the world. You just signed it. So clearly you have a lot of thoughts on Section 230. Let me distill this even further. I'm almost done, Mr. Chairman. Senator Blumenthal and I, who you were just talking to a second ago, he and I have a bipartisan bill that would say that parents and others who are harmed by AI should be able to get into court and have their day in court against your members, just like any American can do with any other company, right? I mean, if Johnson & Johnson sells a drug that poisons people, like it did, by the way, with their baby powder once upon a time, parents can go to court. With your companies, as you just said, they can't. They can't. So would you support our bill? Our bill is a carve out for people who've been harmed by AI technology to be able to go to court. Would you support that?
Haven't had a chance to review the bill. What I would say is that there are also other equities at play in this discussion, including the First Amendment. I mean, companies. Are
you telling me this is First Amendment protected? This is First Amendment protected speech? A chatbot saying you should kill yourself? Is that your position?
It's not my position, but I don't think the question's been resolved.
Yeah, so we were at the end of the video anyway, but I couldn't stomach any more of that. The fact that he even brought up the First Amendment, talking about artificial intelligence. So is he trying to say that we should allow artificial intelligence to have First Amendment rights? I mean, the stuff, I don't know if he meant it to come out that way, but unfortunately, when people are being grilled and they're nervous, they say exactly what their plans are, and that might be what's happening there. He also said that he didn't really get a chance to look into the idea of it, these companies being protected by Section 230, but as Holly pointed out, he already did do the legwork on that and the investigations on that to be able to use it to protect his clients. So, and for those you don't know, I was pulling it up before just so I can read it properly. Section 230 is a section of Title 47 of the United States Code that was enacted as part of the Communications Decency Act of 1996, which is Title 5 of the Telecommunications Acts of 1996. And it generally provides immunity for online computer services with respect to third-party content generated by its users. At its core, Section 230 provides immunity from liability for providers and users of an interactive computer service who publish information provided by third-party users. There was a lot of talk about this. Like I think now at this point it's been like a year or two ago, when it comes to social media and whether or not it's a public space or because they were, you know, censoring certain things, should they be looked at as publishers and not just public space with people just speaking freely. So that came up on debate a lot. So basically, and I don't pretend to know a lot of all about this. Obviously, I had to look it up to even just read out what this is. But it's definitely a conversation we should have. Another uncomfortable conversation, of course. But we really, with the booming of artificial intelligence and especially the younger kids being all about it because they grew up in this world. Like my generation, we had it when we were in our mid to late teens, but they've been in this since birth, since they were toddlers playing, with computers and internet and all this other stuff. So they don't know anything else. And I believe because of that, their discernment might be lowered to, what's real and what's not real, and, kind of just figuring out how to navigate this world of being online and being in the in the metaverse and all that other kind of stuff. But it's a lot of this stuff is really scary. I also wanted to post a picture of how artificial intelligence can do pictures and even videos, as you saw in the beginning, that can make it look like two people are together when they're not. And I know it's not at its full capacity yet. So, like, sometimes you can look at the hands, like artificial intelligence, from what I learned, has trouble mimicking hands, human hands. So you can look, if you see a picture and you're questioning whether or not it's real, you can look at their hands. Sometimes they'll be missing a finger, or they'll have extra fingers, or their fingers will look all jumbled. So that's a dead giveaway. Or even words, so letters. So like if you see like the letters, like if it's like a word and it doesn't make sense, more than likely it's been AI generated. So I'm going to show you this picture right here. Yeah, those are two people that you probably, right off the bat, you probably think, okay, there's something wrong with this, because they would never be together in the same picture like this, looking like they're having a good time. But that just goes to show you how easy it is, if they wanted to show, two people together that weren't together, to kind of implicate them in something. Um, so we really have to have our antennas up. Um, and I think we should talk about this more for sure. Just by the way, just a little side note, I am still working on my predictive programming series. I just wanted to kind of touch base on the AI conversation in between here, just kind of break it up a little bit. But I will be churning out this part two of predictive programming, and I got a lot of fun stuff that I've been finding for that. And yeah, if you haven't done already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always alerted to any videos that drop on this channel. And please share with your friends, um, because videos like these don't really get pushed out like others do. So I'd really appreciate that. And always remember, what do I know? What do you guys think?
So I don't understand. I don't understand. Why me? Why me? I am nobody. I am nothing. but they knew everything about me. They knew what I ate, they knew what I drank, they knew what movies that I watched, they knew where I was from, they knew what cigarettes I used to smoke, and everything they did, they must have watched on the internet. I don't know, watched my credit cards. Our whole lives are on the computer, and they knew that I could be vanished. They knew that nobody would care, that nobody would understand, and they knew it wouldn't matter anymore.